Started. All right, so good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another awesome episode of the Ash Cash Show every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you go to the ashcashshow.com, subscribe to our podcast. Go to ashcashtv.com to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are rocking now. I think we had like 1,100 subscribers on YouTube, but we still got to make it happen. Yo, fast out the Instagram though, because with Instagram we just crossed 85,000. So fast out the Instagram. We just crossed 85,000. I feel that 100,000 coming though. I feel 100,000 coming very, very, very swiftly. So y'all showing a lot of love on IG. But let's get that 100,000 on YouTube too. You know what I'm saying? Fast shout to that. I just want to say thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank y'all so much. Because I think I was saying this yesterday. So for my YouTube fam, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter fam, I took the day off because it was Labor Day. But I did go live, from the backyard on Instagram. And so I was talking to the Instagram folks. I was talking to the Instagram folks yesterday, and I was just talking about value and price and my time, and I really just thank y'all for a couple of reasons, because I think that every day that y'all tune in and tap in is honestly allowing me to live out my purpose. So I know that a lot of people DM me, email me, thank me all the time for just giving, and I appreciate that. But I also say that y'all do, whether y'all know it or not, y'all do as much or more for me than I do for you, because number one, I've always wanted my life to be a demonstration. And so just being able to tell y'all certain things, and then you see it in real time, means a lot to me. But not only just that, just seeing y'all implementing, right? Because it's not only like I don't get joy by you just buying my product and then I just get a deposit. I actually get joy if you buy my product and then you're actually able to put into fruition what I'm asking you to do. Like, that makes me more happy than anything. You know what I'm saying? So to see, like we was just talking about Roxanne, you know what I'm saying? Like, just to see Roxanne, she's part of Mailbox Money Academy. For her at 65 years old to start a new chapter in her life. She's writing a book. She's creating a nonprofit organization. She got her courses coming. She's glowing different. You know what I'm saying? The glow is different. And to be able to be a part of that means a lot to me. Like Donna Rosby, the wealthy nurse who put out a course, and I'm pretty sure she's past 3,000 right now. But the last time she texted me, she was like, "Yo, Ash, I just made $3,000 off of this course. I got this big group that I'm about to do." You know what I'm saying? Like, to be able to be part of that brand. You know what I'm saying? Like my guy Steve, who took my book course, who made $1,100, off of pre-sales. He hasn't even dropped the book yet, and has made $1,100. And so there's just so much. Mo Wine, Miss Savage, who is, a black-owned business who's about to drop her own wine. She's out here doing big things. You know what I'm saying? Davita, Karen, with their challenges, and their books are out here in Amazon. Like, there's so many success stories. You know what I'm saying? Because you could turn on the news all day and read about doom and gloom. But at the end of the day, there are real people in real life doing some real things and getting some real results. And that just makes me feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Karen Styles, who beat me with the shirts. Exactly. That's the same Karen. You know what I'm saying? She beat me with the shirts. She got her book out, which is awesome. You know what I'm saying? So there's just so much blessings that are happening. And so I'm excited about it. And so I appreciate y'all for allowing me to live in my purpose. So for those who are, if it's your first time joining us, welcome. If you are back, then welcome back. Your family now. Mind Right Money Moguls in the building. And so The show is broken down into 3 segments. Segment number one is the financial, I'm sorry, segment number one is the inspirational word of the day. Segment number two is our financial news. And then lastly, it is the Ask Ash Cash segment of the show where you ask your questions and I do my best to answer. If you are watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, please put your questions in the question box. If you're watching on Instagram, then put your questions in the question box to the right of the comments. And so, excited. Today's daily word is dedicated to, really the order in which you get your blessings. You know what I'm saying? So I want to, I posted something this morning that, I just want everybody to be clear on how, how to manifest, you know what I'm saying? Because, at the end of the day, right? So I posted this post and I said, pray, manifest, hustle, thank God, repeat, right? Pray, manifest, hustle, thank God, repeat. Pray, manifest, hustle, thank God, repeat. And so, I feel like a lot of times, there's this saying, and whether it's a religious saying, whether it is a law of attraction saying, whatever it is, right? You got to understand that ask and ye shall receive is like real, So whether you are going from a religious standpoint, asking ye shall receive is real. If you are just focusing on the universe, right? You just say, you know what, you ask for something, you shall receive. So that's important to understand, right? You have to be clear about your ask. Like, what is it that you want? And so prayer to me just means asking. It just means asking. It just means being clear about what you want out of life. It is like, God gives us free will. The universe is a genie in a bottle. And so whatever we ask for with intention, and it doesn't even matter. We ask for it with intention. We ask for it in how we feel. We believe that we can get it. Then that's the first step of it, right? Then, there's this manifestation part, right? Then you manifest what you've asked for. And the great thing about manifestation, or the important thing about manifestation, is that, when you manifest something, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be yours immediately, right? So you ask for something, and then the universe starts to give you signs that you're going to get it. And so you may ask for love, and then you start seeing a bunch of happy couples, right? You start asking for money, and you start seeing people around you that are abundant with money. You start asking for, great business deals, and you start seeing, great business deals. You start asking for a healthier lifestyle or a better body, then you start being attracted to people, or seeing people that have better bodies. And what I'm saying is, manifestation doesn't always result immediately in you actually getting what you actually are asking for. But sometimes people start to push it away, right? You start asking for love, then you start seeing other people in love, and because you don't have love currently, you start frowning your face. You start saying, "Oh man, I don't want to see that," right? You start asking for money and saying, I want to live an abundant life. Then you start seeing other people win around you, and you're like, "Nah, I don't want to see that." Like, "Nah, let me just focus. I don't want to see that." Not realizing that the universe is just answering your question, right? Your universe wants you to actually celebrate those things, because as you are celebrating certain things, whatever you celebrate, you'll get more of, right? And so if you celebrate love, then you'll get more love. If you celebrate the lack of love, right? And so if you're watching love and you're like, "Nah, I don't want that," and you start pushing that away, then what you're celebrating is the lack of love, and then that's what you're going to continue to get. If somebody's winning, right, and you're upset, you're hateful, you're envious, whatever the case may be, if you're watching them win and you're not happy for them winning, you're actually pushing your winning away. right? And so that's the important part of manifestation. And then you hustle, right? Now that you see these things, now you start asking for these things, and you start seeing these things. Now you hustle, right? You make sure that you stay in energetic alignment with those things that you're asking for, and then you will be guided towards what you need to do in order to get to that space, right? You'll be guided to it. You'll be guided to a space where if you start watching people and seeing people winning, then stay still. You've asked already. God heard you, right? God has heard you, and then you just start to hustle, right? You start putting in the work. As you put in the work, I want you to be grateful immediately, right? I want you to thank God immediately. I want you to be grateful, because at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do, right? There's nothing that you can do that will not pay you dividends. So the moment you ask for it, right? You pray. The moment you start to see it in your life and you start to manifest it, the moment that you hustle for it, it is done, right? And then you get to the point that you start to hustle. You say, you know what? I'm going to put in this work, right? And then when you start to put in the work, you also got to thank God. You got to be grateful, because gratitude is what allows you, right? Just know that it's done. Gratitude is what allows whatever you're asking for, whatever you want to manifest. That's what allows it to be in your life, in real life. And then you repeat the cycle over and over again, right? You repeat the cycle over and over again, right? Fat shot the KB motivator for you, right? She says, claim the win. Exactly. Right? You don't have to, you have to believe it to see it. You don't have to see it to believe it, right? Once you put in the work, once you've done what you've done, that's it. I liken it to a 9-to-5, right? If you work a 9-to-5, you put in the work, for the 9-to-5, right? You go into work, you work 40 hours. At the end of that 40, you don't get your check immediately. You know what I'm saying? You don't get the check immediately. You actually put in the work, and then after you put in the work, that's when they give you your check. And so the universe is the same way. You don't doubt that your boss is gonna give you that money. You know what I'm saying? You don't doubt that. You just say, yo, I put in this work, and so I expect this check. You actually expect the check. So when Friday come, if you check your account and the direct deposit ain't there, you know what I'm saying? You coming after somebody. You know what I'm saying? You going after somebody. You yo, wait, I put in this work. Where's my check? You know what I'm saying? And I think the difference with the universe is that once you put in the work, the check is coming. There's just no contract that says it's going to come every Friday. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the missing link. With your job, they tell you exactly when it's coming. You know what I'm saying? But with the universe, you put in the work, and it don't tell you when the check is coming. But the great thing about it is that it's never gonna leave you. So if you put in $1 million worth of work, then you got $1 million. You know what I'm saying? You may not know exactly when you're gonna get the $1 million, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, you put in that work. And so that's why you wanna be grateful. You wanna show gratitude, and then you repeat that cycle. You know what I'm saying? You pray, manifest, hustle, thank God, and then you repeat. You know what I'm saying? And if you follow those steps, right? You follow those, your life is just gonna be what you want it to be. And the great thing about that is that once you do that cycle one time, you're gonna be so abundant with that first piece that when you do it over, you're still enjoying the first piece, that you manifested something else while you enjoying the fruits of that first piece. And that's how you keep the abundance flowing. You know what I'm saying? That's how you keep the abundance flowing. You keep at it. You know what I'm saying? So it's important that you get to that space. Pray, manifest, hustle, thank God, and repeat. So that is the word of the day. Salute to Adrian Michelle. The Queen Sis in the building. We got Mia Sykes in the building on YouTube. Nadij, what's up, Nadij? I ain't see you in a second. So salute to Nadij Sterling in the building. Salute. You know what I mean? So, Virtuous Beauty says, shout out to Karen. I haven't even launched my business yet, and she gave me a piece of advice that blew my mind wide open and will make me a level I hadn't even conceived. Yo, I'm telling you, that mailbox money is different. And that's the other thing, not to jump back on Mailbox Money Academy, But the great thing, what I'm liking, moneyacademy.com. What I'm loving about Mailbox Money Academy is that we also have a private Facebook group, and within the private Facebook group, the love and the energy, the exchange of we're masterminding for real. You know what I'm saying? And I'm loving that. I'm loving the camaraderie. I'm loving how we supporting each other's businesses. Fat shout out to Lisa. Fat shout out to Miss Mac. You know what I'm saying? I think she said she had book number 4. I talked about this yesterday, but I'll tell y'all this other story, right? So I met Miss Mac back in 2013. She wanted to interview me for her program, Young Faces Smiling. Immediately, I was like, yo, you got something there. Took her about 6 years to release her first book, which I've been telling her since 13, like drop a book. Took her about 6 years to do that. You know what I mean? Join my book course and Mailbox Money Academy. And I think in 2020, she got 4 more about to drop, right? So she on book number 4, I believe. And she just dropping them, you know what I'm saying? And so that's dope. So fast out there. You know what I mean? You got to celebrate the wins for sure. All right, cool. So we're going to jump into Styles is Dope. We had a chat last week. You see what I'm saying? I'm loving that. Mailbox Money, you know what I mean? My Mailbox Money millionaires are in the building. All right, so let's talk about the financial news today. Nadira Brown, salute. Thanks for checking in on Twitch. I see you in the building. All right, so let's talk about the financial news. So, yesterday was a holiday. So the markets were closed. But as of the last opening, NASDAQ was up 26.09%. And this is, year to date. S&P 500 up 6.07%. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 1.42%. Gold is up 27.28%. 10-year Treasury is actually down 119.90 basis points, and then oil was down 36.09. As of year to date. So like I said, you remember Friday, the technology stocks kind of went a little crazy, and so that day off was actually necessary. So fast out there. So Forbes, that Forbes, Doc Rivers says, I want to join MMA, but I don't know which course to buy. So Doc Rivers, Mailbox Money Academy. If you just go to mailboxmoneyacademy.com, fill out the form, or I'll DM you. I'll DM you the direct link. I think just that might be the better start, and the reason why I say that, because number one, the price is going to go up today, so probably about noon. I'm increasing the price of the group, but I think that's the better one, only because with Mailbox Money, I mean, you could do the course, you could do the book course, but the book course is going to give you access to the book. With Mailbox Money Academy, we go more than just books. We go books, we go courses. Like, you really learn, how to build a funnel. And so I'll DM you, Doc Rivers, the link. So you could join it, and like I was saying earlier, you also get access to the private Facebook group. So it's not just me; you also have other people who you're masterminding with. You can share ideas and things of that nature. So I'll DM you the link so you could join. If anybody is willing, want to join, just DM me. I'll send you the link, because mailboxmoneyacademy.com is gonna give you a form to fill out. So you got to fill out a form, and then there's a whole process there. But I could send you the direct link to sign up. So salute there. But so Forbes, in other news, Forbes comes out with their America's 400 richest families list. And I've been telling y'all that pandemics don't stop when you're an owner. You know what I'm saying? So when you own stuff, then pandemics don't even matter. It's the people who don't own. It's the people who work for money, right? So I'm saying, stop working for money. Make sure money's working for you, right? And so America's 400 richest people are worth, y'all ready? $3.2 trillion, right? And that's up from 240 billion just a year ago. So what does that mean? That means that last year, right? Last year, when they dropped the list, the 400 richest families were only worth, I'm saying only, I'm using that lightly, were only worth $240 billion. Now, fast forward a year later, with a pandemic, with sheltering in place, with everything that's going on, they are now worth $3.2 trillion, right? And so they're saying that this was aided by the stock market that defied the virus, right? Amazon. So think about Jeff Bezos. So Amazon founder and CEO Jeff Bezos is worth $179 billion, and he's number one for the third year. And then Bill Gates is at number two, and he's worth $111 billion, right? And so I'm telling you, like the pandemic is real, right? But at the end of the day, it is also, helping people who are owners. You know what I'm saying? It's helping people who are owners because if you are, Wall Street Philippe says that's over 300% growth. You know what I'm saying? So like it's real. You know what I'm saying? It's real out here. And so, according to Forbes, they said there are 9 returnees, so 9 people who have returned, former 400 members who fell off the list, and they have made a comeback. 2 from last year. Last year's list died, and 25 dropped off as their fortunes fell. 10 of those setbacks were directly attributed to COVID crisis. And somebody who I guess he had to make the list because he's on there. But so Donald Trump, right, the billionaire in chief, his net worth actually dropped, and so his net worth dropped 600 million from last year. So now he's worth 2.4 billion dollars. There's 18 newcomers that joined the list. You got Alice Walton is the richest woman, so she's on the list as well. Warren Buffett, Sheldon Adelson, they definitely saw some losses. Here's another thing: rich but not rich enough. Fast shout to Kanye West. So we know Kanye West crossed that Billy. Tyler Perry crossed that Billy. Vince McMahon also crossed that Billy, but I believe that you have to have 2.1 billion in order to make the list. So fast shout to them. You know what I'm saying? Colbert Connection says it was a setup. Gates said a pandemic was coming 5 years ago. Bezos said, "Let me gain up, and here you go, equal trillionaires." I'm telling you, like that. People call it a pandemic, and maybe it is. I don't know, because definitely tech is gonna win. I ain't no conspiracy theorist, but Bill and Melinda have been trying to talk about technology in schools and technology for a very long time. Then all of a sudden, what I'm saying, they doing news articles or they doing interviews talk about the pandemic and how there's gonna be a second wave, and we can't ignore the second wave. That's why I'm chilling till 2021. I'm gonna see what they know that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? So fast out to them. All right, in other news, American Airlines is showing support for black staff passengers with Black Lives Matter pins. So American Airlines has become the latest major airline to support its employees wearing Black Lives Matter pins on the job. American Airlines believes in equity and inclusion for all, and read a statement from American provided to USA Today by Representative Sarah Jantz. Says, in light of the appropriate attention to lives of Black Americans, we will allow team members who wish to wear a Black Lives Matter pin to do so if they choose. So fast shout to them. What Nadira, so Wall Street Philippe says, art of war: create a fear and provide the resolve. Facts. Plain sight. Nadira says, right, just like medicine, one person creates the illness, the other person creates the cure. Both of them eat lovely. Exactly. I agree with that. All right. In other news, in other news, what Hove said? Hove said, everybody want to be us for real. We just got to see us. So in other news, there's a DC professor who is apologizing for falsely claiming black identity. So there's a George Washington University professor who is apologizing in an essay on Thursday for assuming identities within a blackness that I had no right to claim. So Jessica Krug, a historian with a specialty in Africa and imperialism, said she had identified as North African, Black, and Caribbean when I had absolutely no right to do so. When doing so is the very epitome of violence, of thievery, and appropriation, she wrote on the website Medium. In a message to the GW community, the university said Krug will not be teaching her class this semester. GW is working on options for student registered for her class. The history department of George Washington released a statement asking for her resignation or termination. The members of the faculty of the George Washington University Department of History are shocked and appalled by Dr. Jessica Krug's admission on September 3rd, 2020, that she had lied about her identity for her entire career. It read in part, Krug did not respond to inquiries when contacted on Thursday. Krug had rejected her lived experience as a white Jewish child in suburban Kansas City. Man, so just another money ploy. I'm over it. Robert, what's up? I got Rob in the building. Rob said, "What's the penalty for claiming to be black, aka culture vulture?" Yeah, so that's you know what I mean. So we see that, and then lastly, this is a salute. Black women astronaut will be the first to visit International Space Station. So Epps, who is from Syracuse, New York, earned a bachelor's degree in physics in 1992 from Lemoyne College. She attended the University of Maryland, College Park, where she received a master's in 1994 and doctorate in 2000 for aerospace engineering. She was also a NASA graduate student research project fellow while pursuing her doctorate degree, where she authored several journals and conference articles on her speech. After finishing her graduate school, she worked as a technical specialist in Ford's Scientific Research Laboratory for 2 years, co-authoring several patents. She then served a technical intelligence officer in the CIA for 7 years. In 2009, she was one of 9 selected people to become a NASA astronaut. So fast shout, fast shout to her, Jeanette. So that's Jeanette Epps. And so look her up. Look it up. Jeanette Epps. She's a NASA astronaut, and she's going to make history as the first black woman to fly to the International Space Station on a mission into orbit. It will also be her first space flight in her career. So fast shout to her. All right, y'all. So that's the news for today. I'm going to open it up for any questions that you guys may have. Let's see. 3.2 trillion. Nah, facts to that. What's at? Yo, why they keep trolling me? Cash OG. Yo, Cash OG, stop trolling. I'm about to block you. Block. Cause on Facebook, I got so it's funny though. So on Instagram, my whatchamacallits, my comments, like the bots, the Forex bots, they be killing my comments to the point where in the beginning I used to just delete them, but now it's like they just ODing. But now they, I'm getting trolls on Facebook, so I'm like, hey, I mean, that's good. I guess the more influence you get, the more the bots wanna go crazy. So fast shout to them. Amazing by Default says, often imitated, never duplicated. Fat shout. Nadira says, I haven't heard about her, but this has happened before. Black posing as white. Yeah, Jessica Kung, I think her name is. So, all right, fast shout to that. All right, so I'm opening up for any questions. If you guys have any questions, if you're watching on YouTube, if you are, yep, you blasted them yesterday on one of your comments. Yeah, they be going crazy. I'm telling you. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on Twitch, please put your questions in the question box. If you're watching on Instagram, please put your questions in the right of the comment. Joyce says, I blasted them. You on my podcast. Sweet lackluster live talk. You on my podcast. All right. Bitcoin miners are coming for me too. Yeah, they going hard. Trolling is like bootlegging. I'm the fashion business. It means you winning. That's a fact. They trolling hard. You know what I'm saying? So fast out to them. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's open it up for any questions. So Twin Mommy 1 says, what are your thoughts on bankruptcy? So I think bankruptcy, it really depends on the situation. I think that bankruptcy could be a viable way to restart if you have no other option, and if it makes sense for you, And so it's good that they have what's called the means test, which means that as you're filing for bankruptcy, you are able to, there's a test to see whether you even have the means, or if it's the right, the right structure, or if it's the right thing for you to do. I think that it's not one size fits all. In certain situations, it might make sense to file for bankruptcy. In certain situations, it might just make sense to, work out a deal. Sometimes, just understand that when you file for bankruptcy, that stays on your credit report for at least 10 years, or for 10 years, so no more than 10 years. After 4 years, you may be able to start getting credit again. And so if you're at a space where you don't need any credit, everything is good, and you just want to restart, then bankruptcy might be a good option. But sometimes if you think that you're going to be buying something, or you're going to need credit within the next few years, then bankruptcy may not be the best option. It might make sense to work out a deal. A lot of times, like it's really unsecured debt that will make it worthwhile to go for bankruptcy. So like, let's say for instance you got a lot of like credit card debt, then that might make sense because your school loans are not going anywhere. You can't change those. So your school loans are not going anywhere. And so sometimes it might make sense to look at your look at what type of debt you have to determine whether it's if you want to file for bankruptcy or not. Okay, so Nova November says, do you have to use your personal address for Spotify, or do you have to buy a P.O. box? So I don't use my home address for nothing. I actually have a P.O. box, and I have a virtual office. You know what I'm saying? So I work from home all the time. I have a virtual office, like a co-working space, or Shopify. So I have a co-working space that I go to. And so so November meant Shopify. So I don't use my home address for anything. I use my virtual address. I would suggest that you do get a PO box. A PO box is really inexpensive. I think I pay maybe like $60 a year. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't use your personal address either. So Mr. Nova November says, how can I get around it? So I would say buy a PO box. So I got a PO box. I want to say I pay between $60 and $100 a year, right? And for that year, your PO box also has a physical address, because some places are like they don't accept PO box, right? But the work around that is, like, for instance, my PO box in Atlanta also offers me a physical address, and so I use that physical address sometimes as well. I also have so Sierra Russell Wilson fan page says virtual office through Regis, right? So Regis is one of those where you can get a virtual office. Check their prices. I use the Gathering Spot, but I also, the Gathering Spot is a membership, and I have mail service go there. So that way, if anybody needs like to physically drop something off, you could use that, right? UPS is an option. So yeah, I would just look into virtual office, because the virtual office is works as well. All right, fast shout there. Let's see. All right, so I just answered that because November I said, do you have to use your personal address for Shopify, or do you buy a PO box? So I answered that. And then I have let's see. If I purchase robes from a wholesaler, can I take their tags out the inside and put mine on legally? Absolutely. So a couple of things. I would double check. So Culture Beauty by Tracy. I would double check with the wholesaler if they don't offer that. If they don't offer that service as part of it. Because when you buy stuff from a wholesaler, most of the times they know that you're putting it out as a resale, right? I would check with them though too, because if it's a name brand, like if it's already a name brand, then it would be illegal to do that. Like you can't buy a Nike shirt, you know what I'm saying? Because the Nike already has the brand, right? So right, so not if it's branded, right? So thank you, right? So Wall Street Philippe is in the fashion design. So that's what I was gonna say, is that if it's branded already, like if it's a Nike shirt and it has a Nike sign on it and it's branded already, then no, you can't rebrand it and put your tag on it. But if it's blank, if it's not branded, then yes, you could put your brand on it, put your tag on it. Because I remember, like, I never had like a fashion line, but I mean, even when you think about, so I talk about like T-shirts, right? When you go to buy T-shirts from, if you go to Printful, like I talk about Printful as a way to start a T-shirt line. If you go to printful.com, those shirts, like it's a Champion shirt, it's a Gildan shirt, it's Bella, it's all these shirts that you can actually just put your own stuff on it and brand it, put your own tag on it and sell it as yours. And so if it's blank and it's not branded, then you could do it. But if it's branded, then you can't do it. So salute there. If you hit, so Joyce Williams said, if you have two businesses, can you use the same PO box? Yes, you just have to register them with the post office. I don't know if there's separate charges for it, but each name that you want to have delivered to that PO box, you just have to add it to your thing. Stevenson 650 says Printful. Yeah, there's a website. So I did a live the other day where I was showing how to start your own shirt business. And there's a website called Printful, printful.com. So Printful.com allows you to create your own shirt. So if you go to ashcashmerch.com, so ashcashmerch.com, and you start looking at all of the different merchandise I have, the shirts I have, those are print on demand. Those are shirts that I just upload the design to Printful, and then once I upload the design to Printful, they actually they're like my white label distributor. You know what I'm saying? So our live says, can I make an ebook PowerPoint and sell it online? Absolutely, without a doubt. Like of course you could. Like that's the game. If you go to 8 steps to ebooksuccess.com, I have a book that I'm selling that teaches you how to write and publish your ebook in less than 4 hours. So check that out. Or go to mindwritemoney.com/resources. Nadira says, yes, I actually followed the steps and created a shirt. I was wondering which options I should select as far as being a store. And so I would say, once you create the steps, and maybe I'll do an ebook on how to start your own T-shirt line. But once you do the Printful, you then need to connect it to a store. And so it connects well to Shopify. It connects to WordPress. I believe it connects to Wix as well. So it really depends on what platform you're using, to put out your shirt. You could connect that to your site. So I use Shopify, and then once I use Shopify, I then have my Printful store connected to Shopify. And so just check out the options that Printful has as far as connecting it to your store, and that's what you would do. So, Young Face and Smile says yes, please do. Yeah, I might create a ebook on how to start your own store, print on demand store. So I might look into that. Maybe not now because this week the kids start back to school, so my schedule is gonna get crazy. You know what I'm saying? So because we doing remote learning, so I may not be able to do it this week, but I'll fit that in somewhere. Where we at? All right, so I zone out says, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? I think Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is the future. I think that everybody should be looking into it, at least learning about it, understanding how it works. And at some point, you should be looking into the blockchain technology as well, because blockchain is the future. Think about this pandemic. Think about where things are going. You know what I'm saying? So I think about those, and really just understand that the world is about to be digital. I think Samsung just donated $6 billion worth of equipment to Verizon for 5G. So the internet is about to get faster. And as the internet gets faster, Bitcoin is going to be important. Cryptocurrency is going to be important. Blockchain is going to be important. So that's where the world is going, like it or not. So you just need to go there. D Nice Gartrell says, "What's your thoughts on Teespring and Redbubble?" I think they're okay. The only thing I don't really like about them, I don't know if they do it or not. But the last time I checked, their integration wasn't as strong as Shopify or Printful. And I feel like integration matters, because if you go to Teespring, you're actually sending them to a Teespring website, which is fine because it's still print on demand. But I rather it be white labeled, where it's like it looks like your store, opposed to sending them somewhere else. And so that's why I'm a fan of Printful. But I'll do research on them more, as I put out, this ebook, or as I start putting information out about it. Let's see. So Wall Street Philippe says, how do you think that blockchain will affect credit systems? Money will be more verifiable. I think in the long run, it's going to allow credit to be more accurate, right? Because right now, it's like it's like a guessing game, right? Because even these algorithms don't guarantee whether somebody's going to pay something back or not. You know what I'm saying? And so what happens is that it's just sort of like a guessing game to say, okay, based on your score, based on how you manage money, you are more likely to pay something back. But I do think that when you start to look at, it honestly depends on how widely accepted it's going to be. And so in the long run, if it's widely accepted, I think that it's going to be easier for people or, banks to figure out who to lend to based on assets and things of that nature. So I do think it's going to have an effect. The exact effect, I don't know, because there's still fair lending credit laws. And so, some of those would have to be adjusted in order for certain things to make sense. So blockchain will tell what the finances really are and if you can pay as agreed. Exactly. Let's see. So I Zone Out says, what do you think about all of this unemployment fraud going on? I think it's unfortunate. I think that, hustle is a hustle. People are always going to try to find a way to hustle a system. I do think that it's unfortunate because there are a lot of people who rightly deserve, or who are unemployed, who need that money. And as you're, doing fraud and you're siphoning money from a system, I think that, it's unfortunate. So, but I do know that a lot of the agencies have been cracking down. They've been cracking down on that type of fraud. And so, I think I don't think it's worth it at the end of the day. If you have the skill, and if you have the fortitude to create fraud, then you have the skill and fortitude to create a legit business and make some real money, and make some money that you don't have to look over your back. Make money that is not going to require you to spend time in jail if you get caught and take you away from your friends and family. So I've always thought that way. I've always thought that people who commit crimes, if you're successful at creating crimes, then you are a genius. You're smart, and you could use that energy in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like I learned. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. I learned my hustle from hustlers. I'm talking about street hustlers, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I learned my hustle from street hustlers, and then I took that same energy and I went to corporate America and did the same exact thing, but legally. I ain't have to look over my shoulder. The same, you know what I'm saying? Like I had one of my big homies, one of my OGs. When I used to sell mixtapes on the street, one of my OGs used to tell me, "Yo, do more telling, less asking." You know what I'm saying? Like stop asking. Like do less telling, more telling, less asking. And to this day, I do assumptive selling. You know what I'm saying? Like I use that. I always keep that in the back of my head. Yo, more telling, less asking. More telling, less asking. That's a street rule. Like my guy was a certified street guy. You know what I'm saying? Certified street guy was like, yo, they used to call me Masher. Don't ask me why, but that was my street name. So he'd be like, yo, Masher, do more telling, less asking. Masher, do more telling, less asking. And so when I got to corporate America, that's how I started treating my customers. I sit down with them. I ask them, needs-based selling. I'm asking them questions. I'm saying all these things or whatever. And then based on what they tell me, I sell them a product or service. And then when I sell them a product or service, I'm telling them, I'm saying, hey, based on what you said, you know what I'm saying? Like, based on what you said, this is what you need. When do you want to start? That's a street tactic. I'm not asking you, do you want to buy my product or service? I'm telling you. I'm saying, yo, you know what I'm saying? Who said that? Yo, Wall Street Philippe. Yo, rest in peace, Scotty. You know what I'm saying? Wall Street Philippe. He know. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. Fast shout to Wall Street Philippe, man. Rest in peace to Scotty. Scott. Definitely taught me a lot of the game. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to my OG right there. You know what I'm saying? This is what I tell some of my one of my fools foots out. Take 2 feet out and apply the same tactics. Nah, I'm telling you, big facts. Right? Wall Street Philippe. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. You know what I mean? Salutes to Saint Nick in the building. And honestly, I honestly, Scott, fast out to Scotty, fast out to Ant Live. Rest in peace, Blast. A lot of them are the reason why I decided not to go to street life, because I was 11. I think I was like 11, 12 years old, and I had first hand look. They was, I saw the game from them, and I was like, you know what? I see the good, I see the bad. I'm good. Like I remember being. I mean, y'all about to take me through memory lane, but I remember shootouts. Watching shootouts from my window, being outside, like looking, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, all right, this is what this comes with. You know what I mean? I'm good. So I had the contrast though. That's why when I got older, I wasn't really intrigued. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say because I'm going on a tangent. I say all that to say is that all of the negative things that you see, the same skill, the same ingenuity, the same thing that makes you successful doing that, you can apply that in a different way and be super duper successful doing that. Yo, Crumb Cake, salute. ISI 136. All my Harlemites in the building. All my Harlem people, my BK people, Lennox Ave, my Oyes on Broadway all day. And they should have run out inside where you're about to have a shootout. Word, fast out to that. Those are the days. I mean, I'm not glorifying it, but Virtuous Beauty says, how long do you think it'll be before the dollar actually falls? It's been so much talk about it for years, and we are just anticipating it. I don't know, because I think when you think about the dollar, I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question. And the reason why I'm saying that is because even when you think about the dollar, and how strong it is, it's still like 19 times stronger than the next economy, right? So like if you look at the strength, I want to say the next strongest economy is Japan. You know what I'm saying? Let me see the world GDP, right? So if you look at the how big the economy is, the U.S. economy, China, right? So you got the United States as number one, then you got China as number two, but I mean you know what I mean, like they're catching up, right? They're catching up, but I still think that they have a long ways to go. You know what I'm saying? So because they have a long ways to go, it's gonna take a while for it to drop. You know what I'm saying? And so it may, right. That's why. So Wall Street Philippe says it may be a while before the dollar collapse. Printing money is a business. You know what I'm saying? So like it's definitely I definitely feel like it may not be something that happens soon. I do think that there needs to be a shift in course. So like a lot of what's happening with imports and exports and things of that nature, need to be kind of buttoned up to make sure that it doesn't happen. But I think I don't see that happening, soon. I don't see that happening soon. All right. Let's see. I think let's see. Is the surplus of money circulation a deliberate attempt to devaluate the economy? No, I don't. Honestly, this is what I think. Wall Street. So Wall Street Philippe is asking, is the surplus of money circulation a deliberate attempt to devalue the economy? I don't think so. I think that it is. I think it's welfare, right? It's welfare, and when I say welfare, I think that when you think about the surplus of money circulation, I think that it is to pretend that the economy is doing better than it actually is, to give consumers confidence and to have them not pull back. Because if they don't have confidence, then they're not going to spend. If they don't spend, then the GDP is going to fall and the economy is really going to collapse. And so the money circulation is because you got to think about places are closing, things are businesses. There's some businesses that are taking so many hits, right? And so because it's these businesses are taking so many hits, the over circulation of money it's a pretension, right? Like the government is literally pretending that the world is that the economy is doing okay, and so people aren't pulling back, they're spending, and then they're hoping that consumer confidence stays up so people continue to spend. Imagine if the 40 million people who lost jobs weren't getting extra unemployment. Money, wasn't easy to get a loan. Like all these things went down, and they were extra, there was extra security around it. Then the economy would collapse, and then we would really see a Great Depression out here. But that's not, that's not what's happening. So that's what I think. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. All right, y'all. I think that's it. Let me just check on the other side if y'all got any questions. I appreciate y'all. Again, how do you think cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, blockchain will affect the black community? I think it's going to, honestly, I think that just like everything else, if we don't jump on it in a timely manner, in a timely fashion, we would get left out like everything else. And so, if we don't get to that space, meaning the black community doesn't embrace cryptocurrency, if the black community doesn't embrace Bitcoin and blockchain, then we'll be left out. Because you got to also understand that blockchain and cryptocurrency can allow you to connect on a global basis, right? Like it'll let you connect on a global basis, and if it allows you to connect on a global basis, then you don't only have to rely on the U.S. economy. You could rely on China. You could rely on Japan. You could rely on Africa, all of the different countries in Africa. And so yeah, so I think that we need to just jump on it. So that's my thoughts. But all right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you go to mailboxmoneyacademy.com. Apply for our program. We are. We have a mastermind tonight. So if you're a Mailbox Money millionaire, make sure you tap in and tune in tonight at 9 p.m. If you want to join the group, it's a powerful group. Go to mailboxmoneyacademy.com. I am increasing the price of the group by noon today. So definitely tap in. Oh, Mailbox Money millionaires. I finally got the affiliate program up and running. So I'll be emailing y'all the link to the affiliate program. So if y'all want to start, inviting people, y'all could. Salute to King Ash and our studio audience. Love and blessings. I appreciate y'all. Fat shout to IG. Fat shout to the studio audience. Fat shout to YouTube. Fat shout to Facebook. Fat shout to Twitter. Fat shout to Twitch. Fat shout to Periscope. Whatever I want to say. Podcast is in the building. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Same time, same place. In God's will.